Handshaking, according to the hadith of the Holy Prophet of Islam, he is quoted to have said that the sins are wiped off to that extent as if the leaves are falling from the tree. اطلق guna dua janda. With handshaking, it's mustahab. Now all these things which you it brings unity, it brings asal namaz jamaat means it is kept for bringing unity and cooperation. So by handshaking, when two mu'min or mu'mina, when they shake their hands, when they do musafiha, it is called musafiha. It is as if the sins are wiped off, as if the leaves of the tree fall. Yeah, it is mustahab to do it after every namaz. But here we do, example, when we pray Zuhur and Asr, afterwards we do. Then again we do when we all stand together. But usually it is supposed to be done after every namaz. After Zuhur is done, then they do handshake with the neighbors nearby. Till there, others don't go because it is inconvenience. Yeah, but it is recommended. This is the sunnah of the Prophet. There are many things which Prophet of Islam did in his life, and those things became sunnah of the Prophet. Many things. Like yesterday, there was funeral. Then we went to the cemetery, Qabristan. Yeah. Then we poured some water on the grave. Again, why should we pour it? These are questions which rise in our minds. Why should we pour water? We pour water because Prophet used to pour water. And it is sawab. As far as the grave is wet, the marhum doesn't get sins. Yani, the marhum is not punished. His sins are wiped off. Same applies to handshaking. Any. Ola mustahab. Any. If you have, now we have kept in between namaz wahshat, we announce in between. In fact, namaz wahshat should be prayed after namaz isha. You see, but even if you pray after maghrib, there's no problem because it is mustahab. Even, yeah, namaz wahshat, you have to pray during night. You see. So after namaz maghrib, namaz ghufayla should be prayed in between. Ghufayla should be prayed in between maghrib and isha. So if you have time, many a times when we announce namaz wahshat here, people don't pray. But since they are bound to sit, they will pray. You see, so what we do, we announce just in between namaz maghrib and isha so that namaz wahshat is being prayed. Although namaz wahshat is not wajib, it is mustahab. And it's if I'm not mistaken, I have to check. If I'm not mistaken, it is wajib kifai. When one, like giving ghusl, giving kafan, taking the corpse to the qabristan to bury it, this is all wajib kifai. And if one person does, alaykum salam. Others are again, they from this duty, from this responsibility, they are freed because some have already done. They have already performed. So yeah, namaz ghufayla is supposed to be prayed in between namaz maghrib and isha, namaz wahshat after isha. But if you think you have time, yes, you will be able to stay after isha. You will pray namaz wahshat after isha and namaz ghufayla between maghrib and isha, because you won't be having time to pray both. Because if you pray both, you won't be able to get isha with jamaat, while isha with jamaat is wajib. And it is said that break your sunnat, again fiqh says, break your sunnat namaz and start to pray wajib. Yeah, sure. Okay, what I have done is, today we'll very quickly do some revision of the past sessions, because and we have brought also a new topic, and that is the continuation of sujood, continuation of sajda, things on which sajda is allowed. If you remember, we were discussing about sajda. And we will continue, inshallah. But before that, we will do revision. We'll remind ourselves, but very quickly. Because if we go in depth, because all this we have done, if we go in depth, we consume a lot of time in this, then we won't reach on the new topic, new subtopic, things on which sajda is allowed. Now, before that, we'll quickly go through these questions. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Is it wajib for a person pronouncing the first takbir of the prayers to raise his hands parallel to his ears? No, it is mustahab. But it's not bad to do that. It's highly recommended. And this is masala number 964. It is mustahab for a person pronouncing the first takbir of the prayers and also the takbirs which occur during the prayers to raise his hands parallel to his ears. This is masala number 964. Whatever we quote here, it is from Tawdihul Masail or Islamic laws of Agha Sistani. Hafidhallahu ta'ala alayh. Okay. In namaz jamaat, should a ma'mum recite, or is he allowed to recite Bismillah of the surahs in the first rakat and second rakat? No. What if he recites? No. If he recites, namaz is jama'ah, there's no doubt in it, and it doesn't invalidate your prayers. It doesn't. It's not that namaz will become batil. No. Namaz doesn't become batil, but he shouldn't. Why? Because it is said that the ma'mum or the follower should not recite surah. So if it says do not recite surah, it means Bismillah is part of the surah. Bismillah is part of the surah, so do not recite. Okay. None of the zikr should be recited in motion except in one state in namaz. One can recite in motion. Which state is that? Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Bihawlillahi wa quwwatihi akum wa aqawd. So today we are just doing revision. Then we'll come to a new subtopic. We are going through what we discussed in the past very quickly. We made these questions so that we can remind ourselves. Okay. So none of the zikr should be recited in motion except in one state in namaz. One can recite in motion. Which state is that? Bihawlillahi wa quwwatihi akum wa aqawd. Otherwise, all other zikr should be in the state of steadiness and not in motion. There is no harm in the movement of the hands and fingers at the time of reciting hamd, although the recommended precaution is that it should be avoided. So, कहने मतलब ये कि अगर हाथ इंसान नमाज ना टाइम है, अगर हाथ हलावे या तो fingers हलावे, there's no problem. It doesn't invalidate your prayers. Although you should avoid it. એવું નથી કે નમાઝ બાતિલ થઈ ગઈ. કોઈક ફેરે ઇન્સાનને જરૂર પડે છે કે કાંઈ વસ્તુ ખસકારે. बच्चो crawl करतो हो example, you want to move him or her, so there's no problem. If you moved him or her, your namaz is not broken, provided you are still facing towards Qibla. If you have turned your face from Qibla, then your namaz will break. Which two surahs in Qira'at in namaz are treated as one surah in namaz? Surah Fil and Quraysh, and Surah Wadduha and Inshira. Remember? لِإِلَافِ قُرَيْشِ إِلَافِهِمْ رَحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ and أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِأَصْحَابِ الْفِيلِ is counted as one surah. And Wadduha وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى and أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ لَكَ صَدْرَكَ وَوَضَعْنَا عَنْكَ وِزْرَكَ. These two surahs, two pairs of surahs are counted as one surah. This is the answer. See, again, this is what Agha Sistani says in Masala number 987. The Surah Az-Zuha and Surah Inshira are treated as one surah in namaz, and so are the Surah Al-Fil and Quraysh. Okay. There is no namaz without Surah Al-Hamd except one. Can you mention it? Namaz-e-Mayyit or Namaz-e-Janaza. It's exception. That doesn't have Surah Al-Hamd. But otherwise, all other namazes have Surah Al-Hamd. Balki there is a hadith of the Prophet that there is no namaz without Surah Al-Hamd. Can a person take wages for teaching obligatory acts of prayers? No, he can't. Masala number 1008. To take wages for teaching obligatory acts of prayers is haram as a precaution, and taking wages for teaching mustahab things is permissible. So if I teach Quran and I charge, it is permissible. But if I want to teach a child namaz, how to pray namaz al-maghrib, how to pray namaz al-isha, I can't charge. When time for namaz is short, one must recite tasbihat arba once. Yeah? Sometimes it happened that you travel, you reach late, you could not pray on the way, and now namaz is about to become qaza. So in tasbihat arba, you must recite tasbihat arba once. And if even that much cannot be recited within time, then he must say only subhanallah once. If he says subhanallah once, then this is equivalent to tasbihat arba. If he is in a hurry, it is obligatory for men and women that in the third and fourth rakats, they should recite Surah Al-Hamd or tasbihat arba silently. So tasbihat arba is equivalent to Surah Al-Hamd. But Surah Al-Hamd is not equivalent to tasbihat arba. What do I mean? I mean that in first rakat and second rakat, you can't recite tasbihat arba instead of Surah Al-Hamd. In first rakat and second rakat, you must recite Surah Al-Hamd. But in third rakat and fourth rakat, you can recite Surah Al-Hamd instead of tasbihat arba. Okay. In the third and fourth rakats, it is mustahab to seek forgiveness from Allah after tasbihat arba. Sometimes in Jamaat, there is a lot of time. Maybe the Imam is slow in recitation. He recites tasbihat arba. You have finished 3 tasbihat arba, but still he is reciting tasbihat arba. So in that case, you will do astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. You will do istighfar, which means that I ask forgiveness to Allah. That is, one should say astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh, or one should say Allahumma ghfirli. Again, it means, oh Allah, forgive me. And before bowing for ruku, while he is uttering istighfar or has finished it, if he doubts whether he has read Al-Hamd or Tasbihat or not, he should read either of them. If a person does not know Surah Al-Hamd well, but can learn it, he should do so if the time of namaz permits. And if the time does not permit, he should act as guided in the above rule, and his prayers will be valid. But wherever possible, such a person should join namaz jamaat to relieve himself of the responsibility. Because in namaz jamaat, you will not recite Al-Hamd. If a person does not know a certain word of Surah Al-Hamd or Surah, or does not utter intentionally, or utters one letter for another like Wa for Zad, or changes the inflections by giving movements of Fatha or Kasra where not needed, or does not render Tashdeed properly, his prayer is void. So where you are supposed to do Shadda, you don't do Shadda. For Zad, you do Val. Or for Ze, you do Zad, then prayers is void. So these things need to be taken seriously. The ulama of tajweed, that is the art of reciting the Quran, have outlined several places where mad, prolonging certain letters, is necessary. Wherever a vowel in a word precedes another vowel, say alif or hamza, it has to be prolonged so that the utterances of each word is clear. But in namaz, its validity does not depend upon following these rules. So if one does not strictly follow them, his namaz will not be void, except in waladhdallin, the last word of Surah Al-Hamd. One should exercise certain care to prolong so that tashdeed is properly pronounced. We discussed also sajdatul sahw, and we said that in these 5 places, sajdatul sahw becomes wajib. If a person speaks forgetfully, not intentionally, forgetfully. If a person recites salam at the wrong place, forgetfully. If he forgets tashahhud, or he is in a doubt in a 4 rakat prayers that he has performed 4th, 5th or 6th rakat namaz, or in any addition and omission. If a person adds anything, or if a person omits anything after namaz, he'll have to do sajdatul sahw. Yes. It's okay. You don't have tashahud. You don't have sajdatul sahw. You don't. You don't. Like when we join namaz jamaat, you must have noticed when yours is first rakat, yeah, and the imam is in second rakat, you will do kunut with him because you can do it. Many people don't understand. Many people have asked me that in Jama'at, if the Imam is in second rakat, he will do kunut. So shall we wait for him until he finishes kunut, then we go with him to sajda, to ruku? Yes, you can. You can go to ruku when Imam goes to ruku. There's no problem in it. But if you do kunut with the Imam in first rakat, there's no problem. So when he is doing qiyam, it will be his second rakat. So if it is namaz as-subh, example, he will recite second rakat, qiyam of second rakat loudly. Won't he? Yes. In Fajr namaz. Example, you have come, you have joined in Fajr namaz. You came late, you came in second rakat. The Imam is praying second rakat. You will join him, the Imam is reciting Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad, example. This is second rakat. Yours is first rakat. Join him. You won't recite anything. Then he'll do kunut. You do kunut. Yours will be counted as first rakat. Then you'll go to ruku. He will go to ruku. You will go to ruku. Yours will be first rakat. So there's no problem if kunut is done in first rakat. And by mistake, if you did, there's no problem. No sajdatul sahw. Kunut, even in namaz Jummah, we have got in first rakat we have got kunut, isn't it? So in namaz Jummah we do kunut in first rakat. After Alhamd and Surah Jummah, we go to kunut. Then we go to ruku, isn't it? If you have noticed. Question: can we pray namaz Jummah 2 rakat namaz like namaz subh? You understand what I mean? We have always prayed namaz Jummah in a different way. You must have noticed that we recite Surah Jummah, then we go to kunut, then we go to ruku. Yeah. So what if we leave that style and that method? Okay, because in second rakat, then again we do 2 sajdas, then we get up, then we recite Surah Al-Hamd, and then we recite small surah, although it is mustahab in second rakat of namaz Jummah to recite Surah Munafiqun, but we don't, because there's no enough time here. People want to rush back to work, so we just recite small surah. Then we don't go to kunut, we go to ruku. Then we get up, we do kunut. After kunut, again we go to 2 sajdas. So the method is a bit different compared to 2 rakat, usual 2 rakat namaz. Or we should say compared to namaz as-subh. So can we pray one day, example, if I pray namaz Jummah like namaz as-subh, is there a problem? No. There's no problem. You can pray 2 rakat namaz Jummah like namaz as-subh. There's no problem at all. Ahsan. Why are we praying in this method, in this way? Why? Because this method has been coming since our Ma'soom's time, our Imma's time. They have been praying this method, and we have been following them. But our Marajas have said, Agha Sistani, Hafidhallahu Ta'ala alayh, in Tawzil Masai, page number 141, he has said that you can pray 2 rakat namaz. He didn't specify that in first rakat it should be kunut. No. So you can pray that way, and you can pray this way. But we have been following this way because our Aimmas have been following this way. Page number 141. Okay. Rayhan, while offering his Isha Salah, he forgot one sajda. What is he supposed to do? Is his namaz valid? Okay, 2 sajdas is necessary, but he forgot, not intentionally. He forgot to do one sajda. He has to do sajdatul sahw. He has to do sajdatul sahw. 2 sajdas, if forgetfully also he would have not done 2 sajdas, then namaz becomes batil. But otherwise, 1 sajda is not elemental. It is not wajib rukni, 1 sajda only. 2 sajdas are wajib rukni. યાદ છે હું વાજબે રુકની બોલ્યો તો 5 છે નિયત કયામ તકબીરતુલ ઇહરામ રુકુ અને 2 સજદા તો 5 વસ્તુ થઈ ગઈ ને 2 સજદા પાંચમી વસ્તુ છે 2 સજદા if a person even forgetfully he doesn't perform, then namaz is batil. 2 sajdas make wajib rukni elemental. Clear? So here the responsibility and the duty of Rayhan is to perform sajdatul sahw. What else? What else? Sajdatul sahw and qaza of sajda. Ahsan. He has to do qaza of sajda and then sajdatul sahw. Clear? Yes. That's right. That's right. While facing Qibla. Sakina, while praying, inadvertently sighs or moans like, is her namaz batil? What is her responsibility? Not intentionally. It's not batil. So she has to do sajdatul sahw. કોઈક ફેરે ઇન્સાન છે નમાઝના દરમિયાન અગર કાંઈ વર્ડ નીકળી ગયું, okay, coughing, hiccups, other things, there's no problem. There's no sajdatul sahw. But if you say, maybe she was thinking something. Yeah. Things like that, she has to do sajdatul sahw. Maliha was offering her Maghrib Salah, and all of a sudden she spoke in namaz intentionally. Make me chips, mom. What is her responsibility? Namaz is batil. So now you have known how things go. What is the ruling exactly? And if a person speaks intentionally, then namaz is batil. Haider, while offering his Fajr Salah, because he was very much tired and wanted to go to bed again, in the first rakat, he intentionally omitted one sajda. What is the state of his namaz? Jani joine. Batil. Ahsan. So you have understood now. Now everything has stayed in the mind clearly. Jani joine agar koi एक सजदो भूली जाए न करे भूली ना जाए जानी જોઈને ન કરે તો નમાઝ બાતિલ છે જાની જોઈને તો કે મારો ટાઈમ જલ્દી જલ્દી નમાઝ પઢી લો અને સૂઈ જાઓ નમાઝ સુબહ તો એ નમાઝ બાતિલ છે. But if he would have forgotten and unintentionally he would have not done one sajda, then there was qaza of sajda and sajdatul sahw. Now if it was forgotten and if it was not performed unintentionally, ahsan. If it was performed, if it was performed unintentionally, then there is sajdatul sahw. But this is performed intentionally. Intentionally એટલે જાણી જોઈને. Because he was tired, it says clearly here. Because he was very much tired and wanted to go to bed again. So what he did in the first rakat, he intentionally, jani joine, he intentionally omitted one sajda. So if he omitted one sajda purposely, his namaz becomes batil. But if he unintentionally has not performed one sajda, then there is sajdatul sahw. If unintentionally he has not performed one sajda, two sajdas are wajib rukni, isn't it? So now for unintentionally, if a person has not performed unintentionally even two sajdas, to namaz batil hai. Unintentionally. But unintentionally, if he has performed one sajda, there is sajdatul sahw. And qaza as well. To batil. Yani intentionally, when a person jani joine, jani karine, na kare. Unintentionally, when a person forgets, doesn't do purposely, he didn't know. Abadu unintentional. So in unintentional, if one is forgotten, there is sajdatul sahw. Agar bebe unintentionally pan na kairu hai bebe, to namaz batil hai. Unintentionally. Agar bebe na kairu hai, unintentionally pan, namaz batil hai. Yes. Qaza of sajda, then sajdatul sahw. Yeah, that's right. Ekad sajda. Yeah. Yeah, sajda sahw means two sajdas only. That the method which we showed, that two sajdas and one qaza sajda. Now, rukni, when we say wajib rukni, two sajdas are wajib rukni. If two sajdas are forgotten, then namaz becomes batil. But if one sajda is forgotten, then namaz doesn't become batil. Because you have not forgotten two sajdas, you have forgotten only one sajda. That's right. No, you shouldn't. See, you have to build your confidence. You have to ignore some doubts. If you have a lot of doubts coming in your mind, this is shaitan. He's doing waswasa. He's astraying you in this way. So do not pay heed to your doubts, and you have to ignore your doubts. Now, if you, after your second sajda, then which namaz is that? No. Okay, so if it is a second, if it is a 2 rakat namaz or 3 rakat namaz, if you doubt about rakat, then your namaz is batil. If it is a 2 rakat namaz or 3 rakat namaz, if you doubt about rakat, your namaz is batil. But if it is a 4 rakat namaz, there are corrections to be made. If you are praying namaz subh, because if you are praying 2 rakat namaz subh, and you doubt that, if you doubt about sajdas, then you have sajdatul sahw. That whether, if you have not done one sajda, then there is sajdatul sahw. But if you doubt in 2 rakat namaz about rakat, that this is my first rakat or second rakat, namaz is. But now if you are you are doubting that whether it is 1 rakat or 2 rakat, then namaz is batil. Yeah. The number of rakats. If you doubt the number of rakats. Even in namaz maghrib, if you doubt about the number of rakats, namaz is batil. But in 4 rakat namaz, if you doubt about the number of the rakats, then there are corrections to be made. And for every doubt, there is a chart to be followed. Shakkiyat namaz. We'll have to look in the chart that if a person doubts in third rakat, in 4 rakat namaz, after third rakat, that whether this is my 4th rakat or 3rd rakat or 5th rakat, there is either namaz ihtiyat to be prayed, standing, sitting. There's a whole chart, which we will go through it, inshallah. Yeah. It's good. Zahra had to pray in the train station. Her namaz was about to be qadha. She wanted to make her namaz as short as she could. She shortened her prayers, deleted qunut, and recited Subhanallah once in ruku and sajda. As far as fiqh is concerned, do you think it is a right step she took? No. Why? Ahsan. In sajda, she recited only once Subhanallah. No, she has to recite 3 times Subhanallah. Okay. It is mustahab for men and women to say adhan and iqamah before offering daily obligatory prayers. But for other mustahab or obligatory prayers, they are not prescribed. But before prayers of Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, it is mustahab to say as-salah 3 times, provided that the prayers are going to be offered in congregation. Is it wajib that adhan be pronounced in the right ear of the child and iqamah in its left ear on the day it is born? It is mustahab. Ahsan. It is recommended that adhan be pronounced in the right ear of the child and iqamah in its left ear on the day it is born before the umbilical cord is cast off. So it is mustahab. If adhan and iqamah has been pronounced for congregational prayers, a person joining that congregation should not pronounce adhan and iqamah for his own prayers. This was all discussed last time. I'm just doing revision. If a person entering a mosque finds that congregational prayers are over, he may not give adhan or iqamah for his own prayers. As long as the lines have not broken up and the people have not dispersed, this means it is not an emphasized mustahab act for him. If he intends to give adhan or iqamah anyway, then it should be with very low voices. If he is joining another prayers with congregation, he should not give adhan or iqamah. So if a person enters the mosque, the people are not still dispersed, he should not give adhan and iqamah. It is mustahab that when a person hears adhan, he follows by uttering together in a low voice whatever he hears. He should not speak. He should not talk. Ke etlok awaj aave, ke disturbance pan થાય, etlok awaj આવે જેમ માર્કેટ છે, એટલું બધા વાતો સ્ટોરી ખબર નથી કે અઝાન થાય છે. In riwayah, it is said that 70 years of amal are wiped off, good amals, if a person talks during adhan. So it is a serious matter. It is a serious issue. That a person, instead of talking worldly affairs, he should follow the mu'adhin. It is mustahab. Whatever mu'adhin has said, he should follow him. That is different. That's good. That is tabligh. That is tabligh. That should be done. In fact, slowly, inshallah, the whole community will learn one day. If we go on doing like this, if we go on practicing like this. Sajda should be performed on earth and on those things which are not edible nor worn, and on things which grow from earth. Example, wood and leaves of trees. Now, this is the new subtopic. We were discussing about sajda, weren't we? Yes. We were discussing about sajda. Now, this is another subtopic of sajda. We were discussing about sajda. That is why we discussed about sajda to sahaw, if you remember, when sajda to sahaw becomes wajib. Now, today, we are going to discuss about things on which sajda is allowed. Now, this is a principle of Agha Sistani, hafadhallahu ta'ala alayh. He says sajda should be performed on earth and on things which are not edible nor worn, and on things which grow from earth, example, wood and leaves or trees. Yani sajda, it can be performed if it grows from earth. It grows, isn't it? And leaves or trees. But those leaves should not be edible and it should not be worn. Anything should not be worn and anything should not be edible. Yeah? Why? Can anyone guess why? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want we to perform sujood on thing which is eaten or on things which is worn, like silk? You can't perform sajda on silk because it's worn. You can't perform sajda on the pandra of pan. On leaves, yes, but on the pandra of pan, we are eating that. You can't. On spinach, you can't. It is leaf, but you can't because people eat spinach. Yes, sister? You wanted to say something? Yes. That's right. This is what Allama Majlisi, in his book Ilal al-Sharai, he gives reason. It's a good book, Ilal al-Sharai. He gives reason why sajda, why ruku, why qiyam. In that he has written that Allama Majlisi, rahimahullah alayhi, that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept that we should perform sajda on the things which, on the leaves, or on the things which is worn and edible. Because we are only his slave. We are only bande khuda, not bande hawa hawas. Not bande food. Not the slave of food. Not the slave of worldly things. Because we should remember only him while performing sajda. Sajda should be only for him. Because our attention should not go in food. Our attention should not go in spinach and other leaves. Yeah, that is why many things like that photograph you see there, what is the hukum of that photo to keep in the mosque? It is makruh. The horse over there, it is makruh. It is not haram. But it should be avoided. It's here, this is Imam Wara. That's fine. People don't pray here. But in Masjid, where mihrab is there, it is makruh. It does not break your namaz. No. It is makruh. Why makruh? The way you say it. Because it is distraction. It will distract you. That is why it is makruh. If you see, like wearing clothes which has got the photographs, it does not invalidate your prayers, but it is makruh. If you wear any dress, any chadar, any clothes which has got photographs of animals, of flowers, photographs. So that behind example, if animal is drawn and you'll pray like this, it is makruh. It does not invalidate anyone's prayers, nor your prayers, nor his prayers. But it is makruh. Why makruh? Because he will be distracted. When his eyes fall on that photograph, he will think of that photograph. And when he thinks of that photograph, he will be distracted. That is why it is makruh. Better not to. But it does not make haram, or it does not invalidate your prayers. But if you think sometimes that even if it is here, I won't be distracted, you should not look at it. It does not invalidate your prayers. Leather, you mean to say, to wear leather or to see leather? To wear leather, if the leather is from non-Islamic country, then you can't wear during namaz. It will break your prayers. If it is from non-Islamic country. And mirror does not invalidate your prayers. No. By looking at mirror, I didn't find in any Tawziul Masail, I didn't come across any mas'ala saying that mirror, looking at mirror, your it breaks your salah. It invalidates your salah. No. Someday, inshallah, we shall discuss 12 things which Agha has mentioned in his book, 12 things which invalidate salah. It might be makruh. It might be makruh. Yeah. So it might be makruh. It could be makruh, but it does not invalidate your salah. Yeah. Ahsant. Okay. A good question. Now, what we said that you have to do sajda. You should, first of all, before there was a different slide which says that you are supposed to do sajda. You are not supposed to do sajda on anything which is worn or eat, isn't it? Because you don't want to be. So even what is eaten, it comes from the earth. That is fine if you are okay. If it's inside and you don't see it, yeah. But if you take gold as such itself and you'll do sajda on it, then again it will make you as if you are the slave of that gold, of worldly things. It will make you materialistic and not spiritual. And namaz wants to make you spiritual. Namaz doesn't want. Allah doesn't want to make you materialistic. If you do sajda on gold, it will make you materialistic. That is why. So, it is not permissible to perform sajda on the things which are used as food, although food comes from the earth, but it's not allowed to do sajda on the food. Okay? Or dress, example, wheat, barley, and cotton, etc. Or on things which are not considered to be parts of the earth. Example, gold, silver, etc. Even on these things, they are not considered to be part of the earth. Although it comes from the earth, yes, down, but it is not allowed because it will make you materialistic. And in the situation of helplessness, asphalt and tar will have preference over other non-allowable things. Then if there is no any other way, in helplessness, in majburi, then tar, where there are roads, you can perform in helplessness. It is in order to perform sajda on flowers which are not edible, and also on medical herbs which grow from the earth, according to Agha Sistani. Now this all if you don't have things which you should perform sajda on. If you've gone to jungle, if you've gone for picnic, you forgot your mohar, you forgot your sajdagah, then there is a flower which is not edible. There are flowers, they're not being eaten. Some flowers are being eaten. That flower, you can take it and a leaf of it and keep it. It is in order to perform sajda on flowers which are not edible, and also on medicinal herbs which grow from the earth. Performing sajda on a grass which is eaten in some parts of the world, but not in the rest, but it is classified as edible, will not be permissible. Similarly, sajda on raw fruits is not allowed. So fruits, there are many green vegetables, spinach, I don't know, many vegetables. They are like leaves, pudino, what you call, I don't know, other things. Methi, these all are green leaves. Kothmir is pudino, yeah? Different things. Dhania, yeah. So all these things, they are green leaves. If you go to the shops, vegetables, groceries, they are green leaves. Because they are edible, because you eat it, you can't do sajda on it. Because they are edible. It will make you materialistic. But there are other leaves. No, they are not worn. I'm coming to it. If you don't know, then leave it. If you know, then yes. If you don't know, Chinese sunati khata. Example. Chinese eat everything. So that's a problem if you think that way. So if you don't know, well, we don't know what Chinese eat. So if you don't know, and you saw one leaf, just take it. There's no problem. But things like spinach, which is very common, obvious, spinach, I don't know, fudino and all these things, these are being edible, these are being eaten. It is allowed to perform sajda on limestone and gypsum, but the recommended precaution is that sajda should not be optionally performed on baked gypsum, lime, brick, and baked earthenware, etc. Because these are earthenware, the sajda should not be done on this. It is in order to perform sajda on paper. If it is manufactured from allowed sources like wood or grass, and also if it is made from cotton or flax. But if it is made from silk, etc., sajda on it will not be permissible. Now, if you don't know, don't ask. But if you are sure that this tissue paper or this paper, it is being manufactured from silk, then you can't do sajda on it. If you are sure, you have read in the behind the box, from what did they make, example. If they made from silk, then that tissue, you can't use that tissue or that paper, it could not be used for sajda. But many a times, when you travel in the airport, sometimes you forget sajda, you get those tissues. You don't know, don't ask. Don't make, according to Agha also, don't make your life hard. Otherwise your life will become very hard. You don't know, don't ask. Yeah, if you have read and you know, then you can't use, if it is made out of silk. But most of the tissues, I think they are made of cotton and other things. So you just take it and you can use as sajda. Now, what is the best thing to perform sajda on? Can anyone guess? What is the best thing? We have discussed many things. Leaves, we have discussed, I don't know, pepper, tissue paper, you can do sajda on. Isn't it? What is the best thing which a person can perform sajda on? Turbate Husayn. Other turba can be done, like you go to Iran and you take the turba of Mashhad, the turba of other places in Iran. They make mohor or sajdagah of the turbat of Holy Land of Mashhad, Holy Land of Qum. It is written, it is sold. So you can take that turba and you can perform sajda on it. But the best thing which a person can perform on is turbat Husayn, khaq shifa or khaq Karbala. And these are not my words, but these are the words of Agha Sistani, hafidhullah ta'ala alayhi. Turbatul Husayn is the best thing. Masala number 1092. Turbatul Husayn is the best thing for performing sajda. After it, there are earth, stone, and grass in order of priority. So if you don't have Turbatul Husayn and you are helpless, then you can take grass. But when we say Turbatul Husayn, it means all other turbat then comes into consideration. That grass which has been eaten, yeah, you can do on grass, that leaves which we don't eat. Okay. Ek minute, Kalia. Okay, okay. Where is the, okay. Let me clear this thing, yeah? Okay. So grass, here also we said you can do. You remember? It is in order to perform sajda on flowers. Yeah. Okay. It is in order to perform sajda on flowers which are not edible. And also on medicinal herbs. Even herbs Medicinal, you can. It's medicine, you can. Okay, which grow from the earth. So sometimes these medicinal herbs are also grass. Only those grass which are being eaten, you can't. Remember, even the sister asked that there are some grass, maybe, and I gave the example of Chinese. The Chinese eat all grass. Example. Okay, where is the confusion? Which slide? Sajda should be, the first page, sajda should be performed on the earth and on those things which are not edible nor worn, and on the things which grow from earth, example, wood and leaves of trees. Okay, so this is we have seen. Not this one, okay. It is not permissible to perform sajda on the things which are used as food or dress. Example, wheat, barley, and cotton, etc. Before that? Okay, let us continue. Let us step by step. Or on the things which are not considered to be parts of the earth. Example, gold, silver, etc. And in the situation of helplessness, asphalt and tar will have preference over other non-allowable things. Okay? It is in order to perform sajda on flowers which are not edible and also on medicinal herbs which grow from the earth. We go to next slide. Performing sajda on a grass which is eaten in some parts of the world but not in the rest, but it is classified as edible, will not be permissible. I'm coming to it. Now let us go step by step to make it very clear. See the full sentence. Performing sajda on a grass which is eaten in some parts of the world but not in the rest, but it is classified as edible, will not be permissible. Similarly, sajda on raw fruits is not allowable. Here it means that grass which is eaten, not all grass. I want to make it very clear. Performing sajda on a grass which is eaten in some parts of the world, but not in the rest, but it is classified as edible. Spinach, maybe, or leaf spinach, other grass, maybe in Africa they are eating. Maybe, example. In Africa they are eating, but in UK nobody is eating. That grass, even though you can't, because you have got in your knowledge that, yeah, this grass is being eaten in Africa, so you can't use it. But other grass, you don't know also. You can take it in helplessness. Clear? Alhamdulillah. So these are very small things, but it's good. We should go and make it clear. Okay, so we were here. Turbatul Husayn is the best thing for performing sajda. After it, there are earth, stone, and grass in order of priority. But which grass here? Because it's already mentioned. That grass which is not eaten. If a person does not possess anything on which it is allowed to perform sajda, or even if he possesses such a thing, he cannot perform sajda on it due to severe heat or cold, he should perform sajda on asphalt or tar. And if that is not possible, on his dress or the back of his hand. On anything on which it is not permissible to perform sajda optionally. However, in such a situation, the recommended precaution is that as long as it is possible to perform sajda on his dress, he should not do sajda on any other thing. So what did we understand? The last resort. If you can't look for anything, completely you don't have anything, then you will perform sajda on your dress or on your back. This is the last part, the last resort, on your back. But before that also, you'll do on your dress. If you've got a dress, You have to do, because you don't have anything now. This is the last resort. Dress. Then you come to your back part of the hand. Why back part of the hand? Because in your sajda you have to touch your palm on the ground. So in this way you have touched the palm on the ground and you have done sajda also. But this is the last resort. Ji. 1 minute. Huh? Yes. I tried to look for, I didn't get anything like this from Agha Sistani. Even somebody mentioned this in one of the sessions, I remember. But then if you do like this, then how will you touch? This is wajib, to touch your palm on the ground. Yes. Yeah. It's true. Both. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Okay. He says the back part, yeah. So the back part, yeah. This is still back. Yeah. We can enlighten more on this issue next week. Yeah. It is good to be sure. It is good to be sure. Yeah. Compass. Mhm. No, if you are already satisfied with the answer you are given, and that's right, this is one way. You know, the sun rises from east and sets west. Yeah, and through that you can know that Saudi Arabia is, example, north. Yeah, so east, west, north. Okay, so this is my Qibla. You are satisfied, satisfaction. Then you don't need to pray again. Now, I'm just giving an example. I'm just giving an example. Okay? So in UK, nowadays you've got iPhone. iPhone shows the Qibla. Or simple way is the antenna. Nowadays, the dish on top, the antenna. Most of the antenna, I don't know why, in UK they face towards Qibla. Did you note that? Most of the antenna, they face towards Qibla. If you come out from mosque, just think and just look and note at the antenna. All the antenna, the dish, okay, the satellite, I mean, it faces towards Qibla in UK. So if you have gone somewhere in UK, there are many ways. Or you have got some people, you have asked them, if you are satisfied. I personally also, I've been to different courses to London, leadership courses. I was sent by Jamaat. I've gone to different trainings. And we went, there were places where Muslims were there, but very far. We were given a very big hotel accommodation. And the one way was to look at the antenna, at the satellite. All the satellites face this way. I prayed my namaz as-subh in the room this way. Example I'm giving you. So this is one way, asking people, asking Muslims. Or in Africa also, we went somewhere and for a picnic and we could not get anywhere. Like again, another way was to look where the sun rises, where the sun sets. Okay, so you have known east, west, and normally the Qibla in Africa, example, is north. Normally, Qibla in Africa is north. So you have already known, east is here, west is here, so north is here. So this is my Qibla. Yeah. So there are different ways, different methods. But now, due to technology, we have moved forward very easy. You know, all have got, mostly have got phones. Yeah. Or if you have got a masjid, you can see the mihrab. Or you go to the Qabristan, you can see where the body, because Qibla, the dead also should face towards Qibla. And it is so necessary that if you, there's a fiqh masail, if you have buried him without facing towards Qibla, and you remember afterwards, you have to change him, dig again. That is why I personally, I'm very conscious. Like yesterday, I myself seen, and I, for what you call, to confirm, for confirmation, I asked 2-3 people besides. Can you see him? You are assured? Yes. You're satisfied? He is faced towards Qibla? Yes. Then we bury. Now, if this is Qibla, it slips like this. At least it should face towards Qibla. It should see towards Qibla. If this is Qibla, he should slip like this. The head is towards Qibla. He should face Qibla. He slipped like this. This is the Qibla, he should be like this. No, the feet will be like this. Sideways. Yes. Yes. So the body, the whole body, the feet, example, if it slips like this, it's facing towards Qibla. Just now I'm facing you. Now if I was to slip, I will slip like this. Yeah. 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 So it's good. You come to explore many things. Okay. I'll be very quick because our time is gone. The sajda performed on mud and on soft clay on which one's forehead cannot rest steadily is void. So the sajda, the mud should not be, we have come again. It should be, you can perform on a mud, not on a soft clay, that your body does not, your forehead does not rest easily. If it shakes, it won't work. It will be void. If the mohr sticks to the forehead in the first sajda, it should be removed from the forehead for the second sajda. Stick, remove it. It should be removed. If a thing on which a person performs sajda gets lost while he is offering prayers, and he does not possess any other thing on which sajda is allowed, he can act as explained in rule number 1093. Do you remember which rule was that? Cloth, asant. Cloth or that? Or the palm or thumb or whatever. Yeah? As explained in rule number 1093, irrespective of whether the time for namaz is limited or ample. They take the mohr many a times. Sometimes even in the mosque, children reach till mihrab. You see? It happens. It's a community. It's a society. They reach till mihrab. And they've taken morals. They've taken my morals. But luckily I keep 2 more. So I had 1 extra. Yeah, but in that case, what will you do? In that case, either you keep dress or the palm or whatever. This is the last resort. The palm or the thumb or whatever you say. Yeah. Even I do the same. Yeah. I just take the more I keep on my hand. When I need it, then I keep. It happens to me at home also. My children also take the more. With your more, yeah. If a person realizes in the state of sajda that he has placed his forehead on a thing on which sajda is void, and if he becomes aware of it after completing the obligatory zikr, he can raise his head and continue with his prayers. But if he becomes aware of it before reciting the obligatory zikr, he should gradually slide or move his head onto an allowed object. and recite the zikr. But if that is not possible, he should recite the obligatory zikr and continue with his namaz. His prayers in both cases will be valid. Person did not know that, I'm doing a thing which is not valid, in a grass which is edible. Okay? So he should slide his head and take more and put it. Okay? But if he could not do that, then in both cases, that case or this case, namaz is valid. You did not know. Now, car is a problem because your body won't be in motion. In plane, I think so, yes. Still, at times, the plane sometimes only, it goes, while take off, upar niche thati hoye plane. But many a times, you are traveling in a plane, still it is going straight. Still it is, it's steady. But in a car, I guess in a car, you can't write also in a car. You can't read also nicely in a car. But now if namaz becomes qaza, then you'll have to pray, isn't it? Because you can't do qaza or namaz. Maybe you'll pray with ishara, with actions. But in the car, it's very difficult. Maybe you basi while sitting. That will be sitting, isn't it? Sitting. If your namaz becomes qaza. But if you have got still ample time, if I reach another place, better to pray there. Yeah. Mustahab namaz even while you are driving, while you are walking. Yes. Aga has mentioned. You can pray while walking. Okay. If a person realizes after sajda that he has placed his forehead on a thing which is not permissible for sajda, there is no objection. It is haram to perform sajda for anyone other than Almighty Allah. Some people place their foreheads on earth before the graves of the holy imams. If this is done to thank Allah, there is no harm in it. But otherwise, it is haram. To the haram of A'immas. This is Agha Sistani says. If it is done to thank Allah, then it is fine. But if it is done to worship them, it is haram. Sajda is only for Allah. And the last slide is the mustahab and makruh things in sajda. This will be discussed next week. The mustahab and makruh things in sajda. It shouldn't move. Because the general law is that it shouldn't move. It shouldn't move. It should be steady. Very steady. It shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. If you want, you can turn it where written is not there. But mostly there's more which is written, Ya Husayn, Ya Shaheed, Husayn Karbala. These are from Karbala. The haram of Husayn is drawn. The Zari, this is from Karbala. Yeah? Yeah, so they've wrote maybe from Karbala. So these things, yeah, you can use, even if it's written part, there's no problem. But if you think that I don't want to use, you can just turn it. The back side is plain. Yeah, you can use. There's no problem. Even if it's written, there's no problem. Any questions? Next week. Keep your questions for next week, inshallah. إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة.